Alex, we're back.
Adam, we are still here.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Very, very good. I was not late to the podcast. Something that very rarely happens. Oh man, I'm tired. I'm very tired. And I have a cold, so
Uh,
that doesn't help.
no. Well, I think we just need to stop this time change thing, man. We're over
Um,
it. We're over it.
yeah, what do they call it again? The farmers and farmer.
Oh, the Farmer's Almanac, where they'll tell
Sure.
us whether winter will be long or short based on not a whole lot.
Remember when it was like Quebec's famous groundhog died a couple months ago, and it was
And
like,
they didn't say anything.
no, they did.
I thought
It
they
was it
waited
was.
to announce it, or
Oh yeah,
was that
sorry.
something
They
else?
were they were late, and it was like, oh, by the way, it's dead. And it was like, oh, okay, great. That helps, guys. And it was we were cursed to an eternal winter.
So it makes it less legitimate.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at this winter, it's basically been we've had snow for normally happens we have snow for 2 weeks and then it melts away, and then big storm, and then global warming. It's a great thing. That was sarcasm.
We've had a snowstorm like every weekend for the
Yep.
last 3 weeks or so, it feels like.
Yeah, and I'm looking outside my front yard, and there's patches of no snow. It looks like it's spring, basically, like those
Yeah,
first few weeks of spring when everything's transitioning.
it's the oddest thing. It'll go like last weekend, I think it was, when there was the heaviest snow I've ever shoveled in my life.
Hmm.
Um Friday night was bad. And then I woke up Saturday, obviously there's snow everywhere. But like it was just a generally nice day. It was weird, but it
Yeah,
is.
man. Yeah, man. But the world's screwed. I give us another 100 years max before
Oh,
everything
that's
goes.
optimistic.
Yeah, my biggest quality in life. Okay, Alex, let's talk about some hockey here. So last night was hockey night in Canada, obviously biggest day of the week for hockey fans. Stuff happened. Both the teams we cared about played last night, so we can start with that. The
Okay.
Leafs started off with Matt Murray not having a great period, to be honest. I saw Leafs fans saying everyone looked good that period except Matt Murray, as I cried in fantasy. But the Oilers just fall apart, man. And basically, if they win the cup or if they lose, basically, I have a feeling this is what we're going to see from the Oilers the whole way there, and that is hoping to God that they can outscore their problems. Because last night they just fell apart. The moment our good friend Will Baldwin, noted Calgarian who hates the Oilers in the city of Edmonton, complimented them, and then they proceeded to completely
Um,
choke.
when I saw the text about the Mitch Marner goal, which I hadn't seen when I saw that text, I
What a
was
goal, by the
surprised.
way.
That was a nice goal. That was a nice goal. You can't not not applaud it. Yeah, no, it was a weird game. I mean, like the Oilers let washed John Tavares and
Oh
noted
man,
fourth line scrub Noel Achari scored 2 goals each. So
that was sarcasm for anyone who can't tell. By the way,
yeah. No, I mean like here's let's go with Matt Murray for a second here. The thing, this is what I've concluded. Remember, I said it a couple months ago, sorry, where that if Samsonov and Murray are like relatively close, that you go with Murray in the playoffs. Right? I think you kind of have to. But I don't think that's the case anymore.
no,
Like I don't think you can walk in to the playoffs and say Matt Murray is your starting goalie. I think to me, the thing with Matt Murray is he lets goals in bunches, it seems like he let in 3 in the first period last night. Like I just I can't. That's not gonna go well against Tampa. And when you've seen Samsonov not at his best, I mean, he it's not an excuse, but I think he's just clearly been tired when it's him and Joe Wall who has, I don't know how many games of NHL experience. Like, you're not running Joseph Wall out there every other night. So I think if you play this correctly, give Samsonov not every single game, and you start Samsonov in the playoffs, you're going to be fine. I just don't think it can be Matt Murray anymore.
Last episode, you and Al and Daniel, touched on the fact that it hasn't been great in Tampa lately. And there was a bit of a scare with Steven Stamkos, but it sounds like he's going to be all right.
Let's not go through that again.
I mean, listen, all I'll say is that we could be seeing the beginning of the end of the Tampa Bay Lightning's alleged dynasty.
No. No. Yeah, say that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Are they tired? Is that what it is?
Elliot. But, you just sort of, if there's one team you don't want to give any sort of leg up on, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that's the thing, is Toronto. Listen, people were saying maybe they need to improve at the deadline with goaltending, and people were like, UC Saros, and I was like, okay, let's be realistic here. Samsonov has shown this year in Toronto that he's better than we always thought he was in Washington. Maybe you can argue the Leafs are a better defensive team than Washington were last year, and I think you can agree with that. And listen, this is a Team Samsonov podcast. # Team Samsonov. We got to be honest there. Listen, Matt Murray, I have not been a fan of for a couple of years now. Let's be honest here, and I am now having a fantasy. And I put that aside, and it has not been worth it, to be honest with you, Alex. Even though he ended up getting the win last night. But hey, Freddie Anderson, thank you, buddy. Thank you last night for losing. I'm going to lose to Mike this week in fantasy. Fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go Sammy. He's the better goalie. Like, there's no question anymore. Go get him.
Like, I was going to say with Samsonov, I think you look at what he is as a goalie. And to me, he's not a guy, again, and this is an extremely common occurrence in the NHL now. He's not a guy who's going to play 60 plus games. It's just not going to happen. But I think with one of the issues that they've had with Samsonov this year, and the reason why it's March and he looks tired, other than the fact that he had the stomach flu or whatever, he had the flu, I think. I don't know if it was a stomach flu, but it sounded like it. But from a couple weeks ago, is because Matt Murray's going down or has gone down multiple times this year. I feel like when they have to run out Samsonov, and he's played 33 games this year, is they're running him out in bunches because they don't have the opportunity to go Samsonov, Murray, like switching back and forth as often. There's been times where you're literally running out Samsonov for multiple games, then saying, okay, Joseph Wall, you play the back-to-back. Mm-hmm. Or, okay, ex-goalie, you play the back-to-back. So I feel like they've had a very limited time in actually doing what Samsonov is good at, which is being part of a platoon. Like, they just haven't had a big opportunity to run him out in that case. I think
that's a good point. Something else, big game from, the whole big four, to be honest with you. Mentioned Tavares. Marner's goal was disgusting.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about Mitch Marner. Listen.
Dude, I'm gonna rip you for your food takes. Okay, go.
Listen, I just want to bring up, for anyone who maybe listens to the Steve Dangle podcast, like Daniel, Alex, and I do, they've obviously been doing this partnership with Skip, and Skip has been doing their Mitch's Dishes thing. It is a charity thing, and there are portions that are going to charity, so it's all well and good. So I had a big assignment due earlier this week, and that's why I was not on the podcast, because getting that done. I almost didn't do today because how I feel, but I thought, let's try and do a podcast here. But I was going to reward myself, and I'm like, I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to get some takeout. Let's see if Mitch's stuff is any good. And I go on, and I see Mitch's right wings. Great pun, by the way. 8 with your pick of sauce. 8 wings for $17, by the way. Let me find this grilled cheese. The saddest grilled cheese I have ever seen. I can't make the joke I made in the group chat on here. but it looks like a half. Why is it called an inside out grilled cheese for 11 quid? The one that this very crappy, sad looking potato chipper, $6. By the way, whoever came up with these names needs to be. It's so hockey how cheesy these are. This one's the egregious one. The Mitchell burger, double patty, double cheese, and all this kind of stuff. A nice looking burger. I was gonna get this, Alex, and I see the price, $21.
Does it come with fries?
Yeah, it comes with a side of sea salt chippers. First of all, who the hell calls them chippers? Hold on, let me try and find one of these little. There was another one I needed to mention here because the name was just so. It hurt. Here's the Zeus burger, $18. Oh, we named it after his dog. We got to get that. Not the Sweet 16. It's never the Elite 8 because they can never get to the Elite 8. I'm sorry, Alex. I had to. Not the goalie pulled pork, more like the goalie got pulled. Hello, Jack Campbell. So sorry. I had to. Where is sandwiches? Come on, Mitch. I'm trying to find it because there's the too many men combo. 4 sandwiches or one hander. 2 large orders of chips and 4 drinks. $60. Come on, Mitch. But too many men. Mitch, how about the delay of game deal? Shout out to the 2021 playoffs. Again, sorry, Alex. Listen, obviously Mitch Marner does not have everything to do with this. But Mitch Marner, who is notoriously cheap, we still know some of the places he frequents in his free time, and I would not say they are places where you require money to go to. Mr. Cheap, Mr. Frugal, notoriously, kind of like Brendan Gallagher, if you didn't know. I'm just saying, Mitch,
But
I don't know who you are.
Tell everyone the conversation we had afterwards and what place you said was good.
I said, instead of paying $20 for a burger, I can go to McDonald's and get a bunch of double cheeseburgers for the same price. And I said McDonald's was good. It's not healthy, but it tastes good.
No.
My big point is I'm not paying 20 quid for a burger.
Fair, but if you go to, let me put this out there. I am not going to hear that McDonald's is good after the amount of Gordon Ramsay I see going on in the group chat. Gordon, have you we talked about presentation a couple weeks ago. I don't remember if it was on the podcast or just here. Have you ever opened the packaging of the McDonald's? It is
it's sad.
It's sad. It's not good. It's greasy. It's fine, but I can make a better burger than what they do at McDonald's. It is not good. I will die on that hill. It is not good food.
It's not $20 for a burger.
Sure.
I'm just saying, Mitch.
Lots of places that sell burgers for $20. Any restaurant sells a burger for $20.
Listen, I'm not saying this is an awful thing. I'm not going to be like the people who go after Mr. Beast. Oh, he gave thousands of children in Africa shoes. Oh, he's a bad dude.
I don't
Those
get
idiots.
That at all. I don't.
I'm
get
just
that
saying,
at all.
Mitch, that $11 million a year salary, that most of it you get in your signing bonuses, and you're going to charge me, even though you're not the one here. And obviously, Mitch Marner's on the business decisions, but you're going to make me $20 plus shipping, taxes, delivery fee, because I hate tipping so much, but you have to do it. You have to do it, unfortunately. You're going to put me a $20 burger, bitch? I'm just saying. Because do you know what I did instead that day of ordering a $20 burger from Mitch Marner? Is I went and I got McDick's. I'm like, I'm going to spoil myself today. And I didn't regret it, Alex.
Are you sure?
I did. I felt great. The Habs lost again. Love to see it. This time not in overtime, and now the Coyotes are 1 point back of them. We're in a good position going down the stretch here, Alex.
I hope they win the rest of their games.
Why?
Just because.
You just don't want one of those top 5 picks in the Atlantic Division.
No, I just want people to be sour on Twitter.
Oh, hi, Patrick.
I didn't say. Listen, you think he's the only one?
Oh no, I've seen that he's not the only one.
Yeah.
It's getting a little annoying, to be honest, but listen, there have been competitive losses, which you're always a fan of, which is what I want, but I'm not gonna. But they're 2 points ahead of the Coyotes. They're 3 points ahead of the Ducks. Here's the thing. Now the Blackhawks are 8 points ahead, so it's not realistic. But listen, if I want them in the top 5, the Ducks and Arizona are the targets here. I think it's realistic.
Yeah, it's realistic if John Gibson keeps putting up saves. I saw last week or earlier this week he was named. He now holds the record for most saves by a goaltender in a Ducks jersey.
Really?
Yeah,
That's kind of funny, isn't it?
let's see if I can find this stat. Yeah, it was like I always forget how long he's been been around. I feel like we keep having these conversations with John Gibson.
He's trying to get his value up so he can get traded.
Exactly. Yeah, John Gibson became the all-time saves leader for the Anaheim Ducks in a 3-1 win against the Calgary Flames, which how do you lose to the Ducks? Gibson made 36 saves and now has 11,837 with Anaheim. He passed Guy Hebert.
The legend. Never heard of him.
With 11,813.
Wow, not bad. Good for him. Not a lot of wins lately, but that's fine. Okay, Alex. I want you to tell everyone why you're a Bruins fan now.
I'm not a. Okay.
Alex, I have a text here saying you cheered when the Bruins scored yesterday.
Yeah. Okay,
I need the Bruins to win.
Yeah.
I cheered. Yeah. I'm not going to read anything else, but
throw me under the bus like that. No, I had put a parlay down. I'm not really a betting man. I've turned to the dark side a little bit. Literally, I bet $1, by the way. And it was just for certain teams to win. And so I needed the Bruins to win, and they were down 2-0. I was at work a little bit early, so I threw on the game when no one else was in the office. And when Boston scored, I cheered a little bit. I didn't like it, but I did. Can I just say though, after praising them last episode, why did the Ottawa Senators have to go and lose last night? Like, they ruined my bet. They ruined it.
Who did they play last night?
The Vancouver Canucks. They lost 5-2.
Oh, that's not good. Ottawa.
That's all I needed. I got everything else right except that the freaking Sens, man.
I also want to look at remind me before we go, I want to have a look at the wild card race to see how it's evolved over the past week.
Sure.
Because the Sabres keep losing, but I don't want to talk about that quite yet. Bruins, with that win last night, the fastest team to ever hit 50 wins. And on March 11th, yesterday, they have officially clinched a playoff spot.
Good God.
I again, every episode, I'm going to keep saying this. I don't know what more we can say about the Boston Bruins. 59-5, 105 points.
They're
four games played.
They have an 11-point lead. The next team behind them, they have a oh my God, they have a 17-point lead in the Atlantic. 17 points.
That's disgusting. I don't know what to say, Alex.
You think the record's 62 wins, right, in a season?
Yeah, with Tampa and a bunch of other teams
and Detroit. Do you think they get there? They have 18 games. Do they win 13 of them?
Yeah.
You think so?
I want to see it too.
Yeah.
But, I think they're just, they should be at 51, but they lost to Edmonton, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But
they lost to Edmonton twice. Yeah.
But I think they'll do it just because I want to. I think it's cool seeing history happen in front of you.
What is the record for points in a season? It's 132.
Is that also Tampa?
That's Montreal in 76, 77.
Was that the 8 regulation loss team? Never mind. I don't want the Bruins to pass them. No.
60 wins, 8 losses, and 12 ties.
Yeah, no, I don't want the Bruins to pass them. I think that was the Habs team that may have changed the power play rules because they were so good. I could be wrong, but no, I don't want the Bruins to pass them. Never mind. No.
They could.
No. We don't
13, 26. Yeah, if they get 13 more wins,
Oh, so if they do it, then they've done it. If they pass
26,
the win record, they pass the point record.
they're a point behind.
So I think it's time to start. Ooh, so they've gotta. It's gotta. We'll start the watch. We'll start the watch. I don't know
Yeah,
if you've seen Game of Thrones, but your watch has not
no,
ended. Your watch has begun.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but
What's wrong with you?
a lot of things. Yeah, no, man, they are so close. I did not realize how close uh they were. Like,
All this to lose to the Leafs in the second round.
no, I'm not saying that.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that at all. You know how we talked about 2 years ago, or that the year that Tampa won, how that Tampa team was the
Wait, which
best.
time?
Um, the time they had 62 wins. Sorry, the
Oh, okay, yeah,
regular,
yeah, yeah.
and we said that
Best
was it?
team of the cap era or something.
Yeah, man, the Bruins are really putting up a fight. Like, that's why, man, that second round is going to be a damn nightmare when the Lightning and Bruins face off.
Man, have some faith. Have some faith. Okay. God, what else are we talking about? Friedman tweeted earlier. He's tweeted this yesterday. Earlier tonight, Providence beat Northeastern 2-1 in the Hockey East quarterfinals. Finals decision came. Decisions to come will include NCAA free agents. Devin Levi, who Buffalo want to sign. Jaden Struble from Montreal. Remember, there was a whole hoopla at the start of the year. And expected to sign in Vancouver, Aiden McDonough. So we'll keep an eye on that. Man, imagine if Levi doesn't sign. I will never let Christo forget that because he has not shut up about Devin Levi all year.
It
Just want to
was
point that out.
He was in the Sam Reinhart deal, right? Like first and Devin Levi, if I remember
I
correctly.
believe you,
All right, I'm pretty sure
Alex. I've
that's it.
only been awake for like 30 minutes. I don't know,
Fair,
man.
fair. Okay,
I have faith in you.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Eric Carlson has a new career high in points.
That's just so.
I'm so happy for him.
And how? Yeah, I just did not expect. I did not expect it to happen this year.
You'll see, and that's why it happened. Because people like you didn't believe in him. No one did, except me.
Except you, yeah,
Except
and
me and his
himself,
wife.
yeah, and himself,
Yeah, that's yeah, true.
yeah.
Listen, man,
But the
I am
San
just
Jose Sharks aren't rebuilding, so it's okay.
yeah. I think that's fair. I'm proud of him.
As
I'm
am I.
proud of Eric Carlson.
It's just going to be unfortunate that he's going to finish his career on that team.
Yeah. If they don't trade him this offseason, I have nothing to say to that team. Like, come on, guys, just do him a solid.
Maybe
Do
he
him a
doesn't want to
solid.
be traded.
Yeah. Well, I think he does. Come on now. I think
I
he's
don't
just
know,
trying to be.
man.
I think he's trying to be nice.
He said it like 4 or 5 times.
Alex, come on. He wants to be. He wants to be
All
traded.
right, he could say something.
Me and him talked. Don't worry.
You and him talked.
Yeah, Eric Carlson and I
Okay,
talked. Yeah, we were good
I'll
friends
call
after.
Gary. Well, let him know.
He, okay, last night on Hockey Night in Canada. Oh God, we haven't even talked about freaking Chuck Fletcher yet.
No.
We should talk about that.
Okay.
Uh, a GM got fired. I completely forgot. Oh my God, we should have led with this. The Vancouver, no, the Vancouver Canucks.
They did that
The
too.
other directionalist mess. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vancouver. No, I did it again. Oh my God,
Are you doing
the
this on purpose?
Philadelphia Flyers have fired general manager Chuck Fletcher. Danny Briere, finalist for the Habs job, finalist for the AGM job in Arizona, as Jeff Merrick reminded me last night. Not me personally, but on the broadcast.
No, you personally. He called you.
Exactly. Danny Briere is now interim head GM. Oh my God, interim GM. Yeah, not head coach. Jesus Christ. Who knows what happens with Tortorella though? Even though it sounds like he's going to stay. But Danny Briere, interim GM, his job to lose at the moment. This happens not long after the trade deadline, Alex, as you very much pointed out on Twitter. And the question has to be asked, especially because it sounded like on Hockey Night they said They were going to wait to the end of the year to do this, which makes the fact he was GM. I would like to know when they reached that decision. And if the trade deadline was the straw that broke the camel's back, that means they knew going into the deadline that they were going to fire him. So I would love to know when the Flyers originally thought they were going to get rid of him. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, let me answer the question from my perspective. They should have figured this out last summer when, after trading for Rasmus Ristolainen, doubled down, extended him, said, I don't think we have enough offense on our back end. I think we need more offense on our back end, and brought in Tony DeAngelo for no apparent reason.
And
Other than
cost themselves
spearing,
Johnny Gaudreau.
other than spearing Corey Perry.
Man,
Like I how they saw what happened last summer and just allowed it to continue. What did they do at the deadline?
did they make a move?
They traded Zach McEwen for
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Lemieux and a pick. They didn't do anything of significance.
So,
They had I don't understand how you can let this guy run the deadline.
it's funny because I realized listening back to our trade deadline episode with Daniel, and I think we forgot to mention the Flyers. AKA, obviously, James Van Riemsdyk was not traded. Apparently, and we everyone saw it happen on Twitter, it looked like he was going to get dealt to Detroit, but it was basically it was only going to happen if Detroit can make another move. Obviously, that move did not happen, and that's why James Van Riemsdyk was not traded. And Fletcher really just kind of made excuses at his press conference when you look back at it. It's just because the real kick in the dick is probably the fact that business started getting done early at the trade deadline. So the fact that Fletcher never got anything done and I didn't get a good offer until like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes before the deadline, that's just not enough, man. I know a lot has been made the past couple of days in 32 Thoughts as well were about this, that maybe Fletcher has been a puppet to ownership here. And maybe that is a conversation we have one day. But I see. Here's the thing: they don't do that often, but there's still a part of me that's like, I don't completely buy that. I'm sure that it's the Flyers, and there's definitely some in there, but I do think there is enough here to go to Fletcher and say, listen, dude, this is not the first time he has had this disastrous a run as a GM.
Yeah, but I can totally buy he's a puppet for the owner. Like, he's not the only guy. Like, Philadelphia is not the only team that's had these problems. We can list it. Vancouver, Ottawa for a good period of time.
Yeah, that was bad.
What's the other team? The Oilers for a good period, not anymore, thankfully, but for a period of time. Not the owners, but the 80s Oilers who were there. Like, I would absolutely believe that he is a quote unquote puppet for someone there. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Like, you look at the disaster he had created in Minnesota. What did Flyers management watch what happened there and say, yeah, we should bring him in? Like, I get it. You didn't like Ron Hextall because he wouldn't play Carter Hart, which
we will get to Carter Hart.
Like, hindsight is 2020, but I think you let the goalie guy deal with the goalie.
They also said last night that maybe the Flyers look at the way they start developing players better, and everyone was like, isn't that what Hextall was talking about with Carter Hart? So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it?
I don't get it. I don't understand what has changed in the last week. So now what? Danny Briere is interim general manager. He can't make moves really until the summer, which we don't even know if he'll be around, if he's going to be the guy to do that. Like, what do they do? How do they get better? First off, here's the question. Are they rebuilding?
So It sounds like maybe there are something we should mention is also it does look like there will be a president brought up as well. So it will be a president as well as a
Hmm.
GM, sort of the model that's becoming more and more sort of prevalent in the NHL lately. Um, so listen, it sounds like Tortorella is going to stay around from everything that's been put out there.
Sure.
Uh, if they are rebuilding, I don't know. At this point, the problem that they have is they're just so stuffed full of like Ryan Ellis's contract. God bless that guy. Like that's a guy who's going to finish his career in Arizona when enough money is paid off. Let's be honest here. But
Yeah.
assuming because that was given out in Nashville, I don't know how much is on it. Couturier, God bless him, what's happened there. There's a lot of mess to clean up, and everyone sort of says Danny Briere has worked his way up. And listen, former Hab, I have a soft spot for Danny Briere. I won't lie. Um, there's a lot of work there, and not even if he gets the job, which it feels like he will. I mean, otherwise, it sounded like he was going to be gone. If they don't give him that job, I'm assuming one day he will be gone because we know there was interest in Danny Briere.
Hmm.
I'm interested to see who that president is because obviously Kent Hughes is a much different person, but Jeff Gordon is an experienced executive, and that's a good partner for him to sort of have. I think it's almost more important to see what that other partner is, and we make bets: is it a former Flyer? Because that's going around a lot. Um, especially like it's a lot to ask for a first time GM, and again, it's like and it's like Montreal too. There's a lot of comparisons here. I don't mean to really make it about the
No,
Habs, but
no.
the comparables to Montreal and funny enough, Danny Briere being there, there's a lot of similarities there. But I think Flyers fans are much more willing to, at games at least, and at season ticket meetings, let you know that
Yeah.
hey there, this guy is trash. Get rid of him.
I know, like, I know you're saying that like it'd be a tough, it's tough to be thrown into a situation like this. What's interesting though is like if you've noticed, if the last few new general managers have not been put into particularly fantastic situations. Kent Hughes is number one, right? Kent Hughes going to Montreal, no experience prior. Patrick Alvin being thrown into Vancouver. He was with Jim Rutherford in Pittsburgh, but like the point, never was not a GM before that. Sorry. Mike Greer in San Jose, and then why can't I remember his name? GM of the Ducks.
Pat Verbeek.
Pat Verbeek. Yeah, Pat Verbeek. No GM experience, right? So all these new guys are just getting thrown into messes.
We'll see how they do. Now they did float around one name in 32 Thoughts last night. Would Carter Hart want to live through a rebuild or play through a rebuild? So, listen, I want to propose him going to a team that is rebuilding as well, but they could sell his vision. They need a goalie of the future. And Alex, would it not be the best storyline that you've seen for the Montreal Canadiens to go out and get Carter Hart and have Carey Price
Well, that's if he's still there.
mentor him? He doesn't need to be there. Doesn't need to be there. We have him
Yeah, no,
mentor
he
Carter
has
Hart to be
Carey,
the next. Oh yeah, I forgot
Carey
about that
Price's
pickup, too.
contract has to be in
It
Montreal.
no, we're not doing this. He is not
Yeah.
going to be a Coyote. We're not entertaining this
Okay.
conversation. Not happening. I refuse. God
Okay.
damn it! I will riot outside the Bell Center if they do that. Anyway, but
I hope you know that's happening. We talked
Alex,
about the Flyers. There's like
let me do my
three
bit.
contracts there.
Alex, there's still a lot of real money on
Coyotes.
Carey Price's contract. The Coyotes
All
don't want to
right.
do that.
All
Anyway,
right.
what I'm saying though is that go get Carter Hart and have Carey Price, his idol,
Mm-hmm.
mentor him.
How about future Vezina winner Sam Montembeault? What happened to him?
You need two goalies nowadays, and by the time they're good, Jake Allen will
Uh,
be at the end of his career.
well, then you'll have Vezina winner Sam Montembeault and
Carter
Kaden
Hart.
Primo.
No, 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 no. No, no,
Oh,
no, no, no. No, no, no,
oh,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
No, no, no,
The
no.
heat's really died down on Kaden
No, yeah,
Primo.
yeah, yeah. I want Carter
Yeah,
Hart, man. You don't tell me that'd be a great story.
yeah, it'd be a great story.
The torch is passed from Carey Price to another,
Well, I
dub
mean, the
dub
torch was
goalie.
passed a couple years ago when
Alex,
Andre
I
Vasilevsky and
swear to
Carey
God,
Price shook
Alex, I'm
hands.
gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave this goddamn chat. I'm gonna leave it.
I'm just saying it
Oh,
was.
hey, we're the Tampa Bay Lightning. We got $100 million. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, we're such a
Uh,
great team. Look at us. We're illegal. We're illegal.
they're not
Well, I'm
illegal.
just saying
They're
that
not.
I
They
think
followed the
Carl.
rules.
I mean, they bent it. No. What they did to the rule book, they
No.
didn't break it, but they basically did what clowns do with balloon animals. They warped it into a different
Well,
shape.
you're blaming the Tampa Bay Lightning for the dumbest
Alex, if your team
invention
lost
in
in
the
the
world.
finals to that squad, you would know how it feels.
Well, I don't, because my team doesn't make it to finals.
They will. They'll do it this year. I'm telling you, man. It's gonna happen this year.
So can you actually, I still don't know. What is this bet that you've made? I'm still unaware at exactly what this bet you've made with Will Christophoulos is.
That the Leafs are going to beat Tampa in the first round.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And okay, so if they lose, you have to.
I have to give him $35.
That's it.
Yeah, and if I win, well, I have to give him a wine that is $35.
And
He
what
has a
happens if
specific
you
brand. I get
And-
$35 in Nintendo bucks
Oh,
that are
Yeah.
going to go towards
Not
buying
Lego? You
Zelda Breath of
you-
the sequel to Zelda Breath of the Wild.
you should have asked for Lego. That was a mistake.
No, because I can't give too much. I don't trust the Leafs that much. But yeah, they need to beat Tampa,
Okay.
which I'm confident. I thought they were going to do that last year, and then
And then Justin
know.
Hall set a pick.
I'm happy that we were both thinking that. I was going to say that too.
No, man, picks are fine. Picks are fine.
Since I wasn't here, shout out to that week where we thought Liljegren was never going to play again.
Which
That
week
was-
was that?
Last week, I was nervous. I was nervous about it. I'm just scrolling through everything to make sure. Life is what it is. Alex?
Yeah.
Do you know what Mew is?
No, maybe.
It's a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, I think I do. I
Okay.
don't know. I felt like it was gonna be something else.
No, oh god, I hit my mic. Oh yeah. Alex, do you want to finish off the episode by looking at the wild card races and see how everything is shaping up in the playoffs?
Sure.
Okay. We can just get the standings up here, which is unfortunate because that means we have to go to NHL.com.
While you're doing that, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who's gonna win Best Picture at the Oscars tonight?
I don't care.
Good. I'm glad you.
I haven't
you
given
said
one
that.
thought, and I don't care. Shout out to them not letting Ukraine's president go again. Give a message because it's so important. No, who cares about the Oscars still?
I know. I don't even know what the TV. I heard the TV ratings for that aren't great. You know why? They should just let Ricky Gervais on again. I liked it.
Dude, who's hosting it this year?
I don't know.
Oh god, it's gonna be someone lame.
Probably. Let's see if I can find it.
How long, by the way, until no one likes Pedro Pascal? Let me make this clear. I love Pedro Pascal, but how long until he becomes so good that people start disliking him? Because it's gonna happen.
Yeah, probably soon.
Good guy.
It's
Need
Jimmy Kimmel, by the way, so it's
Ah!
gonna be grade A boring.
That's awful. Why?
I don't know.
Oh God. Okay. So the Hurricanes currently have a 2-point lead with a game in hand over the Devils for first in the division. The Rangers have been kind of cool. I did not know they were that far back of the Devils. Wow, 9 points?
Oh Lord.
Man. Mike, what's going on with your New York frauds? Boston's
Why do you have to say that?
The Leafs are starting to pull away from Tampa. Looks like Toronto will have home ice advantage there. And the wild card race, spot 1 is currently held by the Pittsburgh Penguins. I have not paid attention to them since the deadline. I wonder how they've been playing. 6-3-1 in their last 10. Not bad. The Islanders are there. but this is the big thing. They are 6 points ahead of the Sens. The Sens have 3 games in hand. Um, 3 points back of the Panthers. They lose in overtime to the Jets last night. Baumgartner only did one tweet. I tweeted, I liked it, then he immediately texted me back saying "piss off." So that was fun. Washington are still not out of it, but right now it looks like the team with the best chance to sort of catch the Islanders is maybe Ottawa. But one team I want to start with here, 3 games in hand, but oh no, they are 7 points back. The Sabres the past week have just completely fumbled the bag on their season.
Yeah, no, and I think Daniel and I were talking about it last episode where I just think like, I mean, let's be real, they got caved in by the Stars. I was gonna say I just wish they had a better goalie. That's it. Like I think you look at everywhere else and I'm like, yeah, I could live with that. You know what? That's a team that could 100% make it in a wild card spot. I just look at that goaltending and I'm like, that's a tough one.
Carter Hart. Carter Hart.
So when you actually, funny enough, you bring him up, when you were like a team that's rebuilding, I honestly thought you were going to say Buffalo.
Come on, Alex.
I don't know.
I mean, it makes more sense than Montreal, to be honest with you, but yeah. So predictions right now. Who are the 2 teams you think making into the wild card?
For the sake of my fantasy team, the New York Islanders and
No.
the Buffalo Sabres.
Okay, realistically, because the Sabres are not making it.
But I don't think they're necessarily out of it. All they need to do, which is easier said than done, but they've done it before, is just get hot.
They're 7 points out, Alex.
They have 3 games in hand. They have the 3 games in hand on the Islanders. So does Ottawa. Like you can't if Ottawa, just because Ottawa has the 1 extra point doesn't make them a realistic option.
I'm going with Ottawa and Pittsburgh right now.
Okay.
Even though like Ottawa aren't as hot as they've been, and I'm not going to count out. I may count out the rest of the team, but I won't count out Sidney Crosby. And I think we need him in the playoffs. I wanted it to be Ottawa and Buffalo, but the Buffalo Sabres have lost all confidence I have in them. Unless, I don't know, Devin Levi comes in and it's like, hey there, guys. And then Hamburglers his way to, I don't know, but I really wanted Tate Thompson in the playoffs. Okay, we go to the West. Oh, I mean, yeah, the Flames have lost it. The Flames are 6 points back, same amount of games played as the Jets. They've dropped to the bag pretty badly.
Yeah, it's been a rough season in Calgary. Like they just, again, goaltending. I don't get the reluctance to like fully admit the Jacob Markstrom mistake in terms of like just run out Dan Vladar a little more often. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you need to run out Jacob Markstrom. I just don't understand it.
There's a reason I gave up on him in fantasy. He's not good this year. But it's pretty safe to say it's going to be the 8 teams in it right now. And again, right now, Dallas Edmonton seems to be a first round matchup.
That would be interesting. I know, again, completely unlikely. Imagine the Predators completely unload at the deadline and then make the playoffs.
I would kind of laugh at it, only to get like the crap kicked out of them in the first round.
Yeah, by Vegas. Probably, or Dallas, whoever finishes first.
There's a point between them right now, but it's going to be one of them. LA's in there, Minnesota, Colorado, who I'm still questioning them. Lars Eller.
That wasn't, again, like we talked, or you guys talked about, it wasn't a very eventful deadline for the Avalanche.
Jack Johnson, baby.
Yeah, like I think you said it perfectly. Like they went from Nazem Kadri to Lars Eller as their second line center.
Not just like I love Lars Eller, like I love him, but it's
Yes, but
just like
the
it's also like
context.
34-year-old Lars Eller.
Exactly. Like it's not spring chicken Lars Eller. It's past his prime Lars Eller at the moment. Um, can I just say unlikely, but wouldn't it be awesome if we had a Vegas LA series in the first round?
Jonathan Quick just goes on a tear.
I mean, we could still get it in the second round. It's not unlikely,
I mean, here's the thing
but
right now.
still.
It is the revenge. It is a Stanley Cup champion who would want revenge versus the man who owns the Vegas Golden Knights in Philip Deneau.
Yeah.
So I could see it happening.
Man, that would be
That's
so
must watch.
entertaining. Yeah, that's a second round matchup. I love how it took 2/3 of the season, but the LA Kings are now have a plus goal differential.
Man, I haven't looked at Corpusalo's stats since he got traded, but I mean, hey, there you go.
Because they spent the first half of the season in and out of the playoffs with a negative goal differential. And then we're just in the playoff. They were like a top 10 team in the league at one point with a negative goal differential. I don't think I'd ever seen that.
It's just how it is, man.
But parody.
What a stupid sport sometimes, eh? And people try telling me the goaltenders aren't the most important position in the league. Get out. Don't do that. Okay, that's it. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
No, I forgot to mention it last episode because I know you guys talked about it when I wasn't here, but I just want to add to the Stephen A. Smith
Oh
stuff.
God, yeah.
What do you think Gary Bettman and Stephen A. Smith talk about? Because he said they're friends.
Yeah,
he said they're good buddies. I want to know what the conversations are like between them.
I would love to know that because the moment he said he was tight with Gary Bettman, I just went. I lost so much respect.
I don't know if I believe it though. I feel like it was just something he said.
Well, you gotta remember he's a good friend with Jerry Jones, so clearly Stephen A. Smith is pro owner.
I just don't believe he's actually friends with Gary Bettman.
Well, I just don't know how. I mean, Gary can't be happy about that.
Well, apparently he was. He wasn't.
Well, yeah. What hockey fan saw that and thought, you know what? That was good. I'm happy about that. Like it was so embarrassing.
You know what? I thought it was. I didn't really. Okay. How can I put this? It's embarrassing for who?
Sport.
The league.
You can't have
the league.
Stephen A. Yeah.
The league.
And like the Rangers, like yeah, the Rangers. Like he smack talked the Rangers.
Well, I didn't think he smack talked the Rangers. I thought he didn't smack talk anyone. He was just being truthful. He does not know anything much about hockey except that the puck is black. I mean, and whose fault is that?
Man, they did tell him to talk about hockey and he wouldn't do it.
No. But why does he know nothing about hockey by his own admission?
They don't advertise the sport very well. Yeah, I think he's jokingly said in the past that it is not a black person sport. I think he actually has.
It's also
said that.
Not a popular sport. It's okay. I fully understand why people are upset about it, but throwing this at Stephen A. Smith does nothing. No one cares. Do you think the only reason Stephen A. put that video out is because someone told him to put that video out afterwards, not because he wanted to. He doesn't care. No one who watches First Take and enjoys hockey. It's a very limited amount of people because they don't talk about it because it's not a popular sport to them. The NBA, like the three other big four sports, bare minimum, college football and college basketball are bigger in the US. What else? That's 5. Dude, I'd argue that we're getting to a point where Formula One might be bigger than the NHL in the US. Like they have 3 races in
I
the
would agree with
US.
that. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I just listen, man. I just don't listen when you talk about championships and being like, the Rangers don't count. I just think I like Stephen A. Smith. I just want a bit of respect to the game I love.
Well, tell the NHL to do a better job at marketing its
Yeah,
game.
they never will. They never will.
Everyone can blame Stephen A. Smith all they want. Uh, at the end of the day, like if the league itself is not doing a good job at marketing its own sport, what are the broadcasting partners going to put more effort in for? There's only so much that they can do. I'm not pro. I get it. Yeah, it's sorry, almost swore. Crappy thing to say, but I don't know. I just want to know what their conversations are like if they're such good friends.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's everything. I need to go eat breakfast and then have some day medication.
All right.
Thank you for listening. Check us out on every social media and wherever you check out your podcast. Leave a review. That'd be kind of you. Rhymed kinda. It's like those they it kind of rhymes, but the spelling doesn't make sense. But it rhymes in my head.
All right.
Get over it if you don't agree with it. My podcast, our podcast.
I'm over it.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see everyone on Wednesday maybe.
Yeah.
And we'll see everyone. Yeah, I'm not repeating myself. Goodbye.